Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Okay, premium members, let's look at all the futures products. You can look in the description below this video. So if you want to just jump to gold, let's say, or any other of the futures products, just click on the link and the video will jump to that product. Okay, let's start with crude oil. That's /CL. These are the January 2022 contracts. And this is for December 13th. So this candlestick right here is a new candlestick. This was today's candlestick, okay? Down day, mixed day, very similar to the S&P 500 as far as price action, green, red, okay? The difference with the crude oil is it's well below the 50, so keep that in mind. Short term, looks weak. Long term, kind of trying to go up, okay? But overall, crude oil still looks weak to me, right? So I would favor trading short side if you're going to trade it because it's below the 50, okay? Let's take a look at the monthly. Still fairly strong month, though this is all pointing down with divergence signals. So could be in for some more price decline in crude oil long term. Nice little bounce here off the 50, okay, right there. On the weekly, back last week. This week's red, still above the 50 though, so that's, you know, somewhat of a positive sign. And the weekly's trying to get some legs underneath it, but this is still pointing down. So crude oil continues to look weak. It's riding right on the 50 week and keeping its head just barely above water there. Okay, let's take a look at the hourly. Okay, so the session that we're talking about started right there on Sunday night. Okay, just ignore these right here for now because that's the new session that just started. Now on the hourly chart, normally I wouldn't advocate trading short if it's above the 50 hour, but in this case, since crude oil's been beaten down so bad, and on the daily chart it's well below the 50, you can trade that candlestick right there, the second one. The second big red candlestick, just trade it. That one, and that one, right? This one even. Granted, this one will be a little harder to trade because it's the last one. But take a look at this right here. So where is this right here? That's approximately this candlestick right here. Okay. So if you want to be a little more conservative and be a little more patient, okay, you could trade that candlestick because the MACD is just starting to roll over. But you already had really good indications that it was coming because the SMI rolled over already, right? See that? And that started rolling over really on that candlestick right there. But if you want to wait, you could grab that one. And like I just said, you can grab the second candlestick down. The SMI is beginning to widen and go down, and the MACD is about to cross over at that point. At that point, it's like right here. Okay, probably a pretty safe trade. Okay, and you got all this, most of it anyway. That's from like 72.5 down to, you know, maybe 71.30ish, 71.40, somewhere in the top of that candlestick could be, you know, you'd start seeing that these indicators are beginning to want to turn, right? Especially the SMI starting to turn. Okay, you get out. Just leave the rest alone. The rest of the day was really not too tradable. You could trade that one because it was below the 50 in that one, and that one too, and that one too. Once they got going, you could trade it. But you know, there's some profit in there, especially probably on the 5-minute chart. You're going to be looking at the same thing. Okay. Definitely gonna be opportunity on the 5-minute chart. All right, we don't need to jump to the 5-minute, guys. Just understand this: the 5 minutes most likely going to show 2 candlesticks in a row that are red. Okay, all right, you're forcing me to do it. Here we go. Here you go. Okay. So look, that one's tradable. That one, those huge candlesticks are tradable. Huge. This one. Okay. Definitely that big red one. Okay. This one's tradable. In fact, yeah, that one's definitely tradable. So is that one. That one's tradable too, even though it kind of break even candlestick in that one. Okay, all tradable. Re-enter on this one about halfway down, maybe even a third of the way down. Anything below the bottom of that green candlestick when you're on this 5-minute candlestick would be tradable. Everybody got that? As soon as this candlestick got below the bottom of that previous green candlestick, you trade it. You trade that one too. Okay, those are two very nice profitable candlesticks, by the way. Okay, obviously all of that one could be traded, and that one. Okay, so there was opportunity there. Okay, let's move on to gold. Remember, as always, guys, you can trade the MCL for E-mini or E-micro crude oil. And for gold, you can trade the MGC /MGC, okay? Let's look at the daily for gold. A lot of just sideways chop below the 50, though. But it's a rising 50, so a little tricky. Okay, looks like gold wants to try to come up, trying to do it. And if it does, it could break above the 50. Okay, so looks like there's trying to get some strength in gold here. We could see it break above, but don't forget the daily cycle here. I think when is this? 12:15, which is, okay, today more or less. Okay, 12:14. So the daily cycle was supposed to be today, but it could go on. It could go on a few more days. Could even go out to Christmas Eve with the rest of those products that are all showing 12:15. I mean 12:23, 12:26, kind of stuff like that. Okay, so just be aware of that. But kind of long term, this hasn't really given it to us yet, but it could try to turn up. Okay, if it breaks above the 50-day, guys, then that's a different story. You can start thinking about trading it long. Okay, let's take a look at the monthly. Definitely some weakness in gold, still there. That's trying to change, but gold still looks weak long term. Man, just look at this beatdown. Lower highs, and for the most part, higher lows. Okay, so it came up, came down into this, came up, came down, came up. I think it's going to break to the downside and come out of that triangle pretty doggone soon. Now that's the monthly, so be aware. Monthly means it could take a while, but this is probably going to break to the downside on the monthly. That's what it looks like. So remember that. Long term, gold looks like it wants to break to the downside. On the weekly, just sitting on the 50. Okay, not turned yet. Kind of beginning to hint at it, but hasn't turned yet. Okay, just sitting on the 50. Okay, let's look at the hourly. I mean, just look at this, guys. Huge. Huge. So this candlestick gets the MACD to open up. This one's probably went way up here. Might have made some profit there. As soon as it got below the top of that body, you would stop out on it. Okay. Then you definitely trade this one. Right? Because most of it's green. Right? You get most of this candlestick. You're going to get a lot of profit bill on there. You're going to get some profit bill out of that one too. Right? So those two candlesticks right there are very tradable. That one and that one. Okay. This, particularly that candlestick right, if I can get the mouse to play right, that candlestick right there and that one were both tradable. Two greens in a row. Okay. So there was opportunity there on the hourly chart. I mean, there was opportunities really both ways. This is well below the 50. You'd want to trade that one and that one for sure. And then even that one. A little bit hard to trade, but it would have been tradable, this one right here. That one's definitely tradable. That last one would be hard to catch. Hard to catch bottoms. I wouldn't worry about it. A little bit tricky in here because of the way the MACD is responding. But you could tell the SMI was giving you what you needed to make these trades, right? It was still spread out. Just look at that. Look at the MACD at the very bottom indicator. Spreading out, right? The lines are separating, the lines are separating. The lines are still separated. The lines are separated. Oh, all of a sudden the lines start to pinch. Just don't trade. Just wait. Just stop. Just stop. You wait till all the way over here to trade when it gets above the 50, and you trade it. Now, admittedly, this is a big green candlestick, but it, not easy to trade it. It's not as easy as people think. So you want to trade this one That's the continuation candlestick that you really want to trade. And then definitely that one too. So there were some trades on both sides of the 50-hour today. Okay, there's definitely tradable. Okay, let's move on to natural gas. Okay, the 1 hour on natural gas looks like it's got some action there. Okay, let's go switch over to the daily here. Still just tracking sideways. Not a whole lot going on. It is tracking on the average upward, but pretty small days. We get this one big, kind of a decent red candlestick. Still looks weak on the daily. It's just kind of a sideways chop. Not something that I would trade as my first product to trade. You follow me? Okay, so anyway, on the monthly chart here, you can see that we still got divergence signals going on. This still looks weak. This is trying to turn over, so the monthly part hasn't really changed. Okay, let's take a look at the weekly for natural gas. Little bounce going on, but not much. Just a little bounce right there, and now it's just sitting around the 50 week. So natural gas, whoa, still looking on the weak side here. Okay, it's hard to trade it sitting on the 50 like that. Okay, let's take a look at the hourly. Now here, on the hourly, it's tradable. All that's tradable. All of this. Okay, especially as soon as I got below the 50. As soon as I got below the 50, guys, this candlestick was tradable. Okay, this one was tradable from the moment that body on down. Okay, without looking at the 5 minute, I'm not sure when this upper wick happened. The upper wick would be a little bit challenging, but the rest is tradable. Okay. Okay, obviously this is the new session, so ignore that. But even, to be honest with you, since natural gas is really weak, I would have traded this and that and the whole thing. I would have traded all 4 or 5 of these candlesticks. Okay, I would have started right on that second candlestick and trade it, because on the longer term charts, on the daily and the weekly, it's showing a lot of weakness. So you can go for it, not be too afraid about it. Right? Everybody follow me on that? Plus, take a look at the MACD by the time you got to this candlestick right here. Look at that MACD right there. Okay, that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. As soon as that MACD spread out like that, maybe it was halfway down this candlestick, whatever, you start making your trade and you just take advantage of the rest. Okay, and then the SMI is going to tell you when to get out, right? It would have gone flat like that, begin to close up and pinch up, you just get out. Very tradable natural gas on the short side right there, guys. Okay, let's move on to wheat and oats to finish this up. Okay. Oats sitting on the 50. Looks weak to me, right? Just head above the water, barely. Okay. Riding right on the 50. Let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, obviously talked about these divergent warnings before, because we'll see what happens at the end of December if they're still there. At the moment, the short-term indicators look like they're a little bit weak for sure. Long-term still pointing up. So we'll have to wait to the end of the month to see if those divergent warnings are still there. Okay. Weekly chart. Oh boy, trying to cross over. If this crosses over, guys, if it crosses over strong, like over here, okay, that's going to be a huge trade. Huge if it does it. Okay, let's look at the hourly. Nice. Wow. Wow. That candlestick was tradable last night. That was tradable. Okay, with as much weakness as was going on, I would have traded this one and this one for sure. Okay? Because you already know the daily is really weak there, sitting on the 50, but you can just, overall, you can tell there's weakness, and so you can take advantage of it here on the hourly, okay? So just look for those second candlesticks that are red. Okay, and if you want to time it really well, like those aren't exactly perfect timing because this is going up. Okay, so you gotta be a little careful there. But this one and this one would have been a lot better to trade because at least the MACD was beginning to pinch and roll over. Okay, and but you do have that going on. So you could trade that if you just look at the SMI, but better to wait on the MACD. So that would be these candlesticks here would really been the trade for wheat. Okay, Monster Mash. And even tonight, both of those are tradable. The close intraday, and then you got that one and that one are both tradable right now. Okay. Let's go look at oats. Let me go to the monthly. Go to the daily on oats. Now, we're going to talk about oats here because oats is really starting to come in now. So let me zoom in here. Oats is finally showing. Broke below the 50 as of, well, right now, tonight. It's broke below the 50. The 50 is now at 707, and you can see this is 702. So I think oats is tradable to the short side. Now is the time. Please use risk management. Of course, as you saw in the beginning of this video, I always talk about opinion only. I'm only talking my opinion, okay? So I don't give financial advice, but I think oats is tradable to the short side. Make sure you understand proper risk management, stop losses, because price of oats will move dramatically and catch you out badly. I mean, it will move huge even on one contract. You can go from being up $200 to $1,000 down just like that, okay? But I believe oats is now the time to trade short, okay? Let's look at the monthly. Divergence warnings. Big Daddy pointing down for for quite a while actually. Last few months. Got this going on. Starting to get some red going on here. Okay, MACD, of course, not showing. It's still saying shoot to the moon, so we got to respect that for now. Okay, but that daily chart's telling me everything I need to know. Been waiting on this one for a while. This is pinch shut down. Divergence warnings are still going on. SMI is beginning to widen. If this MACD crossovers is strongly, okay, if it does that, to start doing, well, it might be more like out here, whatever. Okay. Look at this, 50-week, 478. If this thing even comes down into the mid 600s, it's huge, huge profit, huge. Okay, the contracts are not cheap, but I think the opportunity is there. Okay, don't really look much at the hourly for entry. You could kind of look at it if you want to. Like if, you know, it's thinly traded, obviously. So that's one thing about oats. You want to make sure you get big price movements. Okay, that's going to be oats. Most likely, guys and gals, will be a swing trade. I'm not saying it can't be intraday. It can be, but most likely to be a swing trade. And if there ever was a swing trade in any of the grains or if there ever was a swing trade just in the futures products right now, I believe oats is it. Okay, I think the time is right. Again, proper risk management. Yes, I have a contract on. Okay, I'm gonna hold one contract. Now that this thing is broken below the daily, we'll just see how this goes. That's it for now, guys and gals. Talk to you all real soon again next time.